There is no business without the customers. Same can be said for the #1 mixed martial art organization in the world, the UFC. Despite having developed the sport tremendously, having a charismatic and intelligent boss in Dana White, the UFC needed the fans to pay for it products. The fans have always been instrumental from day one, but they don't feel that powerful as there have never been a need for them to go against the organization. Dana White and his crew try their best to put up the best of fights and give the fans value for money, but in recent times they do what's good for business and have made some decision that the fans were not too pleased about and ignored. Like the pound-for-pound ranking, giving random title fights to big names, promoting certain fighters more than others, etc. But that is not the case, as one fighter from Pretoria, South Africa seemed to have gotten the fans to stand up for the first time in a long time. Du Plessis became the #1 contender in the division, and now earned the respect of the fans and was supposed to face Israel Adesanya for the title next in September at UFC 293 in Sydney, Australia. The South African declined the opportunity due to injury he sustained in the Whittaker fight, and did not want to gamble going into a title fight just 8 weeks away. Some fans wanted him to take the title shot, as opportunities like that don't come by every day because of the bad blood with then champion Adesanya and the storyline of who is the true or real African, whatever that beef was about, which could have done good PPV numbers worldwide, could upset the UFC management. That did upset the UFC board, as they had to give the #5 ranked Sean Strickland the title shot, who then went all the way to shock the world and dethrone Adesanya. It was a massive shakeup in the middleweight division, with company's second biggest star Adesanya now defeated. All this was due to Du Plessis rejecting to fight Adesanya. Du Plessis then called for the title fight against Sean Strickland afterward, but the company were not looking his way. The goal was to sideline him at least for a while and give Khamzat Chimaev a go for the title. The MMA fans were fed up with the UFC imposing title fights on them, which they felt was undeserving, and showed their grievances on social media, including MMA media platforms, calling out the unfair treatment of a legitimate #1 contender now being overlooked. UFC heard the cry of the fans but went ahead with their plan, as they set a mouth-watering between Khamzat Chimaev and former welterweight champion Kamaru Usman, with winner getting the title shot next. It still didn't sit well with the fans, as they believed that both Chimaev and Kamaru Usman are not ranked in the middleweight division. Chimaev, who a lot of people believe would beat Usman, was a shadow of himself, with an underwhelming performance as he won Usman via split decision. Chimaev's lackluster performance helped to further fuel the campaign for Du Plessis, as the fans carry on calling for Du Plessis versus Strickland. At this point, the UFC knew it was out of their hands and had to do something to get some credibility and fairness, and so submit to the fans' wishes to grant Du Plessis the title shot against Strickland for UFC 297 in January. Du Plessis will be packing his luggage to Toronto in January. And it is all thanks to the MMA fans. It is now up to Du Plessis to return the fans' faith in him and win the UFC Middleweight Title. How do you see the fight between Sean Strickland and Du Plessis playing out? Share your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. See you soon. The African Fighters.